Welcome traders to the Meet Damien live stream here. I am Damien, and today we're trying to figure out where the hell is Bitcoin going to get support, because we're just blown through every single support level we can find here. There's one last support level I can look at here for you guys that I think could give us a chance here for the bulls to try to remain bullish here. But it's actually looking pretty dark and bleak out there, and I understand why you guys are probably mad at crypto. You might be mad at me. You might be mad at yourself. Who knows? But we're not going to get mad. We're going to get educated and informed here. So let's go ahead and try to figure out what the last support level for Bitcoin might be. There might be two last support levels here, but I'm going to show you the one that some traders might not even be mentioning to you guys. And that is a level here that's hidden by the VRVP indicator here. I'm going to throw this VRVP indicator up here on Bitcoin. Okay. This is this little heat map thing here to the right. You see that you got your buys and your sells here, right? The green is the buys and the reds are the red areas of sells. You add them up together and you get high volume nodes here. And right now it's I had it marked here earlier at like 63,400. It kind of changes based on whatever I'm doing with the charts here, but I was eyeballing here $63,400 here for Bitcoin based off of high volume nodes here at that level there. And you can see that when we actually come down to $63,000 like we did back here in February, we haven't really actually stayed down there for too long before closing the day above it. So you know, C3K, I would expect that to act as like a magic area where Bitcoin wants to climb up. But to be honest with you, if it's not going to be 63K, then the next level is going to be just the bear market low here at 60K, where we saw Bitcoin get as low as 60K here on February 6th. And then after that, guys, I mean, we're going to go see 50K. Obviously, if we can't hold 60K. But 52K was another level that I've eyeballed here, because if I zoom out, right, if I zoom out here using still that VRVP indicator here, you're going to see there's a little bit of a bump here at 52K, okay? And that's it, guys. That's all you got, right? Okay? You really don't have that much support. I mean, there's something here at like 57K, 58K, which I think was like where Bitcoin was bottoming out here in like August of 2024. But I know that's like whatever, right? Maybe Bitcoin makes a sweep down to lower prices and it actually takes out some long liquidity down there, and it actually comes to 57, 58K and bounces off. But I'm not sure how much of a significant level that is. I'm actually eyeballing 52K, and then after that I'm eyeballing this bigger support level here. You got this big giant high volume node here at like 42, 43K, okay? But one of the reasons why I think 52K is coming if 60K can't hold on is because that's what we were doing back here in February 2024, going into March of 2024. We were trading sideways here, where investors that were buying here in February 2024, they're still in the green on their Bitcoin investment. They're not sweating bulls. I mean, they're not happy with Bitcoin going down to low prices, but they can still click the sell button and they got profit. It's not until they see that Bitcoin actually is at the price that they bought at 52K here, where they'd be like, oh man, we can't sell our Bitcoin in profit. We have to actually not sell it, or else we're gonna take a hit. We're just gonna break even, or we're gonna take a hit. Okay, so I'm expecting selling pressure to die off in this area at like 52K, if 60K and 63K aren't gonna hold that support here. Okay, now one level that I thought could act as a support area earlier today, and I was trying to long Bitcoin at this level, was 65,400. How did I get 65,400? Well, let me just zoom out here a little bit. I did draw a Fibonacci from 60K all the way up to 82,800. Let me get rid of this parallel channel. I had someone that was mentioning something interesting here, that Bitcoin could bounce up to 74K. And there was like confluence between a parallel channel here and also a Fibonacci level there. But I'm going to get rid of that for now. But so it's not so cluttered on the charts here. Okay. But I drew this Fibonacci from 82,800 down to 60K, and we have a 0.236 retracement that I was like, all right, well, we lost all the moving average supports here on the daily time frame. We lost the 100, the 50, the 21. We can't even get above the 200 at all. Okay, and the only thing left here was like Fibonacci nodes and VRVP nodes here. The Fibonacci level was probably the last line of resort for the Fibonacci traders here who were trying to take a bet on Bitcoin. Even we can't hold 65,400, which is your 0.236 retracement. So what's next for Bitcoin? I think 63K, which is, I mean, it's only $1,000 above from where we are right now. Okay. But that is where I saw a high volume before we actually hit 60K. And of course, 60K would be the bear market low. We all know that Bitcoin made a bear market low here on February 6th. Is where we saw Bitcoin go to 60K for like a few hours. It didn't even stay there for one day, okay? Before we jumped back up. When we were at 60K here on Bitcoin, right? Back here in February, we closed that day at 70K. We went up 12% that day, okay? So we didn't even stay down at 60K. You know, the day before that, we actually closed at 62,800. That's why I think 63K makes sense. I mean, you can say it's 62,800 or 63,200, but a lot of roads keep pointing towards 63K as the last support level before 60K ends up being the bear market low, and that's the only support after that. Because if you can't stay above the bear market low, then guess what? You're making a new bear market low. And the new bear market lows might come down at 52K or 40K, like I just said earlier in the live stream here. Okay? But anyways, what do I know, guys? I'm just a guy here in a New England Patriot jersey, wearing a Gronkowski jersey, right? You might call me a dumb jock, and that's fine, because you can't say that I lost you money if you're listening to a dumb jock, right? About crypto. But yeah, let me just say hello to my TikTok guys here. I am wearing a red shirt. I'm also wearing a red shirt in support of the red day that we're getting here in Bitcoin. Why not? Okay? Why not? And I think I might have lost a few viewers there. They're like, oh my god, we're listening to a dumb jock talk about cryptocurrency and the charts. We gotta find somebody else to listen to. But you know, you guys can jump over to other YouTube channels and you know, TikTok channels and whatnot, and you can listen to them. And I mean, it's not gonna stop the price of Bitcoin from going lower. You know, like Bitcoin's gonna do whatever it's gonna do here. And I gave you guys in previous live streams levels to look for. Like Bitcoin, it did try to stay above the 50-day moving average for support back here in late May. Then it lost it. And then what did it do? It tried to stay above the 100-day for like a few days here. And then it lost it. And then you can see, like, we actually came down to these Fibonacci levels. Like, we came down on that red day here on June 1st. What was that? This Monday? And we closed right at the Fibonacci level there at 71,400. We closed at that level. And then we just couldn't hold it. We just kept on dropping like a rock here. And then here we are, you know, throughout, you know, most of the day here, we were trying to stay above 65,400. And then we lost that. So like I'm at a loss here, guys. I'm not angry. I'm not, you know, maybe some of you guys might be angry, and I get it. But there's nothing you can do as far as, like, we're in a bear market, guys. Like, I've told you guys this already for a while now, right? We've been making lower highs here, okay? While making new lower lows. That is bearish. We've been making lower highs and lower lows. And now every now and then we come and do relief rallies, but then we get rejected off the 100-day moving average here in January, okay? And then we try to do another relief rally, and then we get rejected off the 200-day moving average, okay? So where does Bitcoin go next? I already told you, like, my levels to the downside. But levels to the upside, man, if we can actually, you know, save our butts here for whatever reason, if we can just get more bullish here on Bitcoin, there is something interesting here about 74K. It is a 618 Fibonacci level here, guys. That's a golden pocket. Expected retracement level to get back towards most of the time. There's also the 50 moving average on the daily time frame is at 76K. I think if Bitcoin was to start climbing back up to higher prices for whatever reason, if we were to do a V-shaped recovery, remember this is a moving average, so it is moving all the time here, and I think this 50-day moving average could actually end up being resistance at 74K if Bitcoin actually does a V-shaped recovery out of this vicious downdraft that we're getting right now. So I think 74K looks very interesting right now. Okay, a matter of fact, right now the 21 EMA, this other white line, this other moving average is also at 74K. So there's something here about between 73 and 74K. Seems to make a lot of sense here because of the moving averages and also the golden pocket here on the Fibonacci that I drew from 80K. I'm sorry, 82,800 down to 60K. There is a level here to be looking at, 74K. And then just one more thing here, just to add more confluence, right? I was talking to one of my TikTok guys here, and he showed me on his chart something interesting about a parallel channel, which we were in for a while there on Bitcoin. Let me just draw this parallel channel one more time here, guys. Bear with me as I draw this out. Okay. But we were in a parallel channel on Bitcoin for the longest time since the beginning of February, going all the way up to May, and then we lost it here in the end of May. But look what is marking, like X marks the spot over here. The bottom of the parallel channel, okay, this blue channel that I drew, the bottom of the parallel channel is where 74K is at. So if we were to do a V-shaped recovery, I'm not sure how we're gonna do a V-shaped recovery. Maybe I'm looking for catalyst here, guys. Give me a catalyst, because I think the war in Iran coming to an end would be a catalyst here. But what a positive catalyst if that was to happen. But like, give me some positive news here, guys. That's like what would cause Bitcoin to jump back up to 74K. Because if it does, I think that could be a rejection for the bulls here. I don't think the bulls are going to see Bitcoin get past 74K if we actually do climb back up there. Whether it's a V-shaped recovery or if we do, like, you know, a U-shaped recovery, or I don't know, make a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then finally hit 74K. I think 74K is the upside resistance for Bitcoin at this point now, because we got a few things that are saying 74K. We got the Fibonacci here, we got the bottom of the parallel channel here, and then we also got the moving averages. If I throw them back on, they're all saying 74K is your upside for Bitcoin at this point. But anyways, I did a lot of talking there about Bitcoin. I gave you the downside targets and the upside targets. Let's find out what you guys think about Bitcoin and crypto, and then let's see if you guys have any requests. We can look at other things besides Bitcoin. It doesn't have to be a Bitcoin only stream here, but I do know that Bitcoin runs the show here in crypto, and when Bitcoin drops, so does most of the other altcoins out there. So you know, we always have to look at Bitcoin first before we look at the other coins, just to get ideas like what the direction might actually be here for Bitcoin and the altcoins. Okay, well, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Jimbo says break 58K, then consolidate, then boom. Okay, I mean, I think we could do a dolphin dive dip, you know, below 60K, scare a few people, and then bounce off of 58 or 57K or something like that. I did show you there was a high volume node there. If I zoom out, there's a little bit of a high volume node, but not too much. By throwing that BRBP indicator heat map back on again, right? You see high volume there, 57K, and then of course 60K. We're hoping that 60K stays, you know, because if we could go down to 60K and do a double bottom, that'd be great, right? But we could still go to 57.8 or 58K, and that could still be a double bottom, because double bottoms, you know, look it up on Investopedia. Double bottoms are within 1 to 3% of each other. It doesn't have to be an exact bottom. It could be like 3% off, and it's still considered a double bottom. Okay. So, anyways, we could possibly do that. I'm right there with you there, Dale Jimbo. Let's see. Gagalin, I can't even say your name. Long is good or not? I already tried longing Bitcoin at what I thought was support at 65,400 was a level I was playing for, and that was their 0.236 retracement, and that didn't hold. So I'm not playing any more games with trying to long Bitcoin. I already lost money trying to long Bitcoin, And to be honest with you guys, a lot of people have lost money trying to long Bitcoin the last 3 days. So we're just blowing through all the support levels. Nothing's really sticking. And the last level is 63K, and I would try to long 63K at this point. If you want to get back in and get in the fight, I'm done trading as far as like trying to long Bitcoin today. I did it like maybe 2 or 3 times already, and it didn't work. So yeah, if you want to continue the fight, because I don't know, you might just be waking up. It might be like morning where you're at, and you might want to try to long Bitcoin. You know, in like 6 hours from now, if Bitcoin goes to like 63K, you could long Bitcoin at 63K. I'll probably be asleep, but at least you'll be awake and you can monitor the charts here and see if Bitcoin actually stays above 63K or not. Okay, where would you put your stop loss at? 62K or 61K? Whatever makes sense for you. You know, you could probably put the stop loss below 60K. We know that held back in February. But if you lose 60K and you get stopped out, then guess what? Bitcoin wants to go down to low prices. Yeah. Yep. And here we are. We're looking at 63K Bitcoin right now. It's 63,970. But we're now saying hello to 63K today. Today is actually considered June 4th now because the daily candle for Bitcoin starts at like 12 o'clock London time. Best way to remember that, you know, what's the time in London? That's when cryptocurrency starts a new day. Okay, so it's already 12 o'clock in London right now. It's like 12:30 in London, and yeah, today on June 4th, we are now at $63,800 Bitcoin, and dropping still. Man, if we continue the velocity that we're doing right now, I feel like we will see 60K by the end of this week. Yeah, why not? I mean, we dropped, how much did we drop today on Wednesday? We dropped 2,600 points. We get another day like today, and we'll be at 60K by the end of today. If we just do exactly what we did today, we'll be at 60K by the end of was it Thursday? Today's Wednesday. Let me just double check. Been one big blur right now. Yeah, we'll be at 60K by the end of Thursday if we just do what we did today, all over again. How crazy is that, huh? Patrick is kind of putting in a request here. He's asking about oil. Oil seems to do the exact opposite of Bitcoin, and you know, I have a guy in my Discord that's fighting me about the war in Iran and how it doesn't affect crypto. But to me, it does, from what I'm seeing. Why did we stop dropping here on May 11th, right? May 11th, we had a top on Bitcoin. We had an inflation report, okay? A CPI report that came out showing that inflation is a problem. And how did inflation become a problem? Because of the war in Iran, right? Oil prices are up because of the war in Iran. Okay, so inflation, because the war in Iran is causing oil prices to go up, that's causing inflation to go up, which is preventing Bitcoin from going up. Bitcoin can't go up with inflation going up, okay? So, and then that was also where the 200-day moving average was at the time too, so that kind of killed the enthusiasm. And then we had the, whatchamacallit, we had the Clarity Act passing through the Senate committee, but it didn't pass the Senate floor, so that was another reason why we just started dropping. So the news does affect crypto. I don't care what that guy says in the Discord. He's just trying to remain bullish as much as he can, or whatever. I don't know if he is bullish or bearish, but he has his reasons and I have my reasons. And yeah, the news does affect Bitcoin, and so does the war. But anyways, we'll write down oil as a request here. Appreciate that. We'll look at the price of oil. I'm curious. I know I see oil in the corner of my eye is at $97 right now. And I think earlier this weekend it was at like $90, so we're already up like almost 10% on oil. And for this week that we just started here. Sapa, thank you for following me here on TikTok. I need to go see what my YouTube guys are saying because I can't neglect them. I am doing a dual live stream. I'm doing YouTube and TikTok at the same time here, so just bear with me here, guys. I gotta find out what those guys are doing there. And yeah. So we got Crypto Cruz in the chat here, and we got Kevin Hawthorne and Marcel Humphreys. Let me I gotta do the pop-out chat on that. I forgot to do the pop-up chat. Let me go ahead and just pop that out there so I can have that in the future here. All right, back to that. But let me just read those comments there on YouTube, and then we'll get to the request here. All right, so we have Marcel Humphreys here saying, good morning from South Africa. Oh, that's right. Marcel, I remember you telling me that, and I told you I haven't been to South Africa since 2021. Oh, wait, no, 2008. Why did I say 2021? 2008. And looks like we have a request here from Crypto Cruz. He's asking about NIR. And it's like, you're wondering, should you short or long it? Oh, man. So I guess you probably want to see what the DeluxeAlgo signals indicators are saying. Because it could be telling you to short or long. We'll have to take a look at that. Kevin Hawthorne says, good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Good evening to you. Kevin, I actually lived in Florida for a little bit myself. I lived just south of Kissimmee in the town of Poinciana. And I was working in Kissimmee at the time. So, yeah, that's cool. That is cool. I got people from all around the world. For some reason, I visited the same places that these people are from. Which is cool. That's cool in itself. So, I mean, we kind of cater towards crypto. But let's get into oil, because a lot of people are paying attention to the price of oil, especially with the way things are going on with the war. And then we'll take a look at the NIR protocol as the next cryptocurrency to look at. And let me just look at the comments one more time here. Test DNA says BlackRock broke the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin. No, I think the 4-year cycle is still intact. We're supposed to have 3 good years of crypto, three good years for Bitcoin, and then 1 bad year. And it's supposed to last 1 year. A lot of people are getting all this hopium about Bitcoin going to higher prices over the last couple of months here. And I'm like, we're just halfway through the bear market, guys. You have to remember that. If we don't get past that 200-day moving average on Bitcoin, we're gonna probably get rejected hard, which we did, and we got rejected hard and fast. So Bitcoin's still in the bear market, and usually the bear markets last about a year. So from the all-time high, the all-time high was in October of last year. So it takes like a year to kill off all the enthusiasm and optimism in cryptocurrencies. And yeah, I think a year later is when we would expect Bitcoin to actually create the bear market low. So I think the 4-year cycle is still intact. I don't think it's been broken, but you can tell me why you think it's been broken because of BlackRock. Let's see. We also have another request. I'm not a request. We had a comment here from Lei May Baiso. Says, if it's not around the short the market, I already did long time ago. All right, congratulations on shorting the market. That has been the play. We've been in a bear market since the end of October of last year, so shorting has been the thing to do here. Asmer says, what's happening to Bitcoin in the short term? We will take a look at Bitcoin one more time. Thank you for putting in that request for Bitcoin. We usually start the live streams by looking at Bitcoin first. I start the live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. So that's when you'll get me, talking about Bitcoin. But I can't look at it again. I usually do the bigger picture view on Bitcoin for everybody. And then I get into smaller time frames as someone asked. So because you asked me again, that's perfect that you want to look at the short term, because we'll look at the short term for Bitcoin, and we'll also look at the smaller time frames as well. But yeah, let me start with this request here on oil, and then we'll look at NIR and then Bitcoin. We're looking at the price of oil currently trading at $97.51. Okay. I have charted oil. I did long oil right before the war started, because it seemed so obvious that there was going to be military action in the Middle East. They sent 2 aircraft carriers. They don't send 2 military aircraft carriers just to say, you know what, guys, psych, we're not going to do anything. It was getting serious in February, and then of course the war broke out. Right, we had that gap up there in on March 2nd when the market started trading again, because the war started during the weekend, and we had, Friday closing here on Friday, February 27th. We closed that at $67, and we gapped up to we opened it up at $75, okay? And then we just shot up exponentially after that. And then the price of oil did do a double top. We saw a top here at 119 bucks. And then we saw another top here at 118 bucks. They're within 1 to 3% of each other. So that is considered a double top. That was very bearish to see that. Plus, oil was creating bearish divergence. I have that marked here with this magenta line here. But if you don't believe me, you can look at the RSI here. You can see that there's lower highs here on the RSI while we were making higher highs here on the price. So you have bearish divergence actually play out, and you know what does that do? It's not bullish. You know, bearish divergence is not bullish. A double top is not bullish either. And price of oil dropped down, right? Dropped down as low as $81.79 here on April 17th. Okay, we actually lost the 50-day moving average, which could have acted as support, but then we bounced above it and actually closed above it. And here we are making a higher low, you know, for oil. Then we came up, made a lower high here, for whatever reason, came down, made a higher low. And this is when I started charting out, you know, this consolidation pattern that we're in, okay? We are in a consolidation pattern on the price of oil here, okay? Which, all that means is that the price of oil just becomes boring and boring and boring. However, now what? We kind of dropped out of this consolidation pattern, this symmetrical triangle that I have here on the charts. And I was like, oh, well, you know, if oil is going to be bearish, then maybe we might get support at the 100 moving average. We didn't even hit the 100 moving average, this blue line here, before we just started doing an Uno reverse last Friday. And now we have moving averages above us that could act as resistance here initially. You got the 50 moving average, that green line at $99.57. I think $99 and $100 is like a psychological target here for the price of oil. Once we get above that, people are going to get probably more bullish on oil to see it go up to higher prices. And I mean, are we going to just have to, are we going to have to extend this yellow line, and are we going to just continue making lower highs here on oil? I don't know. But looks like around here at like $104 is something to look for here on price of oil. Okay. So let's see how we do if we are able to get any lift off above $104. But what I would like to do for you, right, is I would like to show you a Fibonacci that I drew. Okay, I drew a Fibonacci from $119 oil. Okay, down to where we started off at, like $55 was like where oil was back here in like January, February. And we have Fibonacci levels to look for. I remember I said $104 could be like a level to look for. Well, it's very close to this 786 retracement at $106. That could be another rejection for oil. I don't know what's going to do that besides maybe good news coming out of the Middle East. Maybe they do get a peace deal, and then that's it. Like we can just hold our hands and sing Kumbaya and not have to fight each other. And then oil tops off at $104, $106. But if we're not, you know, getting a peace deal, and we're not, you know, holding hands and singing Kumbaya over here, we'll probably see oil get back up to $119. And if it can push past that level and not make a triple top, which would be very bearish if it did that, we could see the 1272 level here at $137. That's the next target, above 120 bucks. And then after that, you might have heard analysts say that we could see $150 barrel oil. I have it at 159 here. The 1618 says we could see $159 barrel oil there. Okay, so there you go. Those are your targets, the upside if oil is going to be bullish, and you probably don't want to see that because that means we're probably going to see World War III or the end of the world here if oil gets to that price, or it's just going to feel like that at 150 bucks. But it says that it's possible according to the Fibonacci targets here. Thank you, Joe Athlete, for following me here. Let's see, Joe Athlete, you asking about the VWAP. I don't do VWAPs. I just do simple moving averages and the 21 EMA. The 21 EMA is the white line. The 50 moving average is the green line. The 100 moving average is the blue line, and the 200 moving average is the red line. Those are most of the moving averages that I see these assets usually respect for the most part. as support and resistance. So I usually use those moving averages, and other professional traders use that for their moving average as well. I don't really do the VWAP. But the V that I do is I do a VRVP indicator, and someone did mention that. I got the VRVP indicator here off to the right. It stands for the Visual Range Volume Profile Indicator. And right now we got a value area high at $95 a barrel oil. So if oil can stay above that, then it's considered overvalued, believe it or not. But that is a support level. So if we're not able to go below 95, then we're probably not going to be going below 95 on oil. Joe Athlete said it was all good until he started drawing trend lines and flag patterns. I mean, what's wrong with a trend line? What did the trend line ever do to you? It is noteworthy to note that these candlewick highs seem to be connected to each other. And why do they keep getting rejected when we hit that trend line? Okay. For some reason, it's working. Okay. But yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want for charting. I usually stick to VRVP indicator. I don't always do trend lines and flag patterns and stuff like that. But all this is showing to me, like, is that we're just consolidating after having bearish divergence and a double top. All I'm doing is I'm just pointing it out to the other traders and investors out there that oil has been consolidating. It's not bullish, it's not bearish, it's going sideways for the most part, while in a symmetrical triangle. And it looked like it was breaking out of that symmetrical triangle to the downside, but you know, here's the thing about trend lines. It is subjective. Like, you could do this. You'd be like, well, are we doing this for a trend line now? You know? If you got to move your trend lines, then maybe your trend lines aren't really working. So I get it. You know, trend lines, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. As long as you're not moving your trend lines around to fit whatever narrative you think you're in, then I think you're fine. But I don't move my trend lines. I had this here because it looked like we were consolidating back here in May. And it looked like we were really going to, you know, either we were either going to break out to the upside or break out to the downside. And we broke out to the downside, but now oil is actually cashing bids because things are getting worse in the Middle East. So, yeah. But I extended that trend line because maybe this trend line, this downward trend line here, maybe it is going to act as resistance one more time when we get up to it at $103, $104 a barrel. Like, if that happens one more time, then for sure there is a trend line to respect. If it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches in a row, then that probably means there is a downtrend. So why not have a downtrend line there just to mark it on the chart? Anyways, you know, you can do whatever you want, bro. I have my way of trading, and if you don't like the way I trade, you don't have to be here. You can go somewhere else. Bye. Dios de Lamerte says, go in Bitcoin. Yes, all right. Why is Bitcoin? Oh, look at that. Bitcoin's at 63K. Here we are. Let's see. We're using that VRVP indicator one more time. That's the heat map off to the right. And there's a little bit of volume here at 63K, and there's a value area low that we just blew past. So, last time we saw 63K or close to 63K, we didn't close the day at 63K. So that's why I think 63K is very interesting. Okay, let's see what's going back here on February 6th. Yeah, February 6th we didn't even close. February 6th we closed at 70K after Bitcoin hit 60K earlier that day. We were up 12% on February 6th, which is like one of the worst days to be in Bitcoin. But all you had to do was just wait until the end of the day, and you were doing all right. But like the day before that, February 5th, we dropped down to 62K. And then we closed out at like 62,790 here on Coinbase Exchange. So there you go. Like 62,790 is like what, similar to 63K. Like we're right near that candle body close here on Bitcoin back in February 5th. So is that going to act as support? We shall see, because there really is no more support after this. You will then probably drop like a rock again, maybe 60K. Some people will try to do one last line of defense here at 60K. But if 60K is not going to hold, then we are going to obviously drop into the 50s. And I already showed you here on the charts here, guys. We do have 52K marked off here because if I zoom out and I'm still using that VRVP indicator, there is high volume here at 52K. Okay, there's also even more high volume here at 42K. Okay, or 43K. But I think, you know, they'll be funny and they'll try to bring Bitcoin down to $42,000 because of 420. And then also 42K Bitcoin is where Bitcoin was at when the Bitcoin ETS came out. Those Bitcoin ETS, those institutional investors, they bought Bitcoin at 40K. They can sell Bitcoin right now and still be in profit. Now, you know, about a few weeks ago, they could sell their Bitcoin at 80K and they would have still be in profit and selling it for double what they bought it at. But now they can only sell it for like a 50% profit, but that's still profit. And you know those guys have a lot of Bitcoin that they can sell. It's not until Bitcoin actually gets down to 42K where it's like, wait, we're still selling Bitcoin today? But what price did we buy it at? Oh, 42K? Maybe we don't sell Bitcoin today. And then the selling pressure dies off, and then we actually get a bounce off of 42K. I think 42K might be the bear market low for Bitcoin this year. Okay, but there is something here at 52K. Okay, so think about the people that bought here at 52K. They can still sell their Bitcoin at 63K. They'll be up about what, maybe like 20%. They can still sell their Bitcoin for like a 20% profit right now. But you got these people here who are not going to actually stop selling Bitcoin until it gets to 52K, and then they're no sellers anymore. Now they're at break even. And if we lose 52K, then they become, you know, sellers maybe. And they might have to cut their losses if Bitcoin goes below 52K. So 52K is and 43K, 42, 43K is the level to look for here. Let's get back into the smaller time frames here, because I did have a guy here that wanted to look at the short term for Bitcoin. And for the short term, I like looking at the 1 hour time frame for my day trading, short-term time frames here, and I do look at the moving averages here. We are clearly bearish, clearly beyond a doubt bearish. We're below the 200, the 100, the 50, the 21 EMA. Every time we try to come up to the 21 EMA, we get rejected. Like, we came up to the white line, we got rejected. That's extremely bearish on the 1 hour time frame here. Okay. But what's going on here? You are actually making bullish divergence. Buyers are showing up. I tried to buy Bitcoin earlier today at 65K, and I was proven wrong for doing that. Okay. So buyers are stepping up to the plate, but we just need some more buyers to prevent the price from going lower. Obviously, right? God, we need more buyers, and then the price starts going up. But we are getting bullish divergence hinted by these teal lines that I have here. And now I'm going to go ahead and throw on some of my signals indicators here. You do see that we have a long signal here saying that it was worth trying to go into a long here on Bitcoin at 66K. Yesterday? Didn't really play out. We're still getting some bullish divergence. And I'm going to show you the bullish divergence here in the 1 hour time frame, right? If you don't believe me. We have been making higher lows here, and we're still making higher lows, believe it or not, even though we're making lower lows on the price. So we're getting bullish divergence on the 1 hour time frame. At some point, guys, it definitely feels like it's not going to happen, right? But there will be a bounce. There will be an oversold bounce. There will be a relief rally again here on Bitcoin. We're just trying to figure out when is it going to happen, right? I gave you levels to look for. I said 63K. We're already at it. And then I said 60K because of the lows in February. And if we can't hold 60K, then it actually makes a lot of sense for us to go down to 52K. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt, guys. But those are levels to look for, okay? Let's see. Thank you, Deep Thoughts, for following me here on TikTok. So you're saying oil bullish? I actually didn't even look at the momentum indicators on oil. I kind of just, I jumped. Oil will be bullish if they keep shooting more bullets, bombs, and missiles at each other between the United States and Israel and Iran. Okay. if the U.S. and Israel are still, you know, shooting Iran and Iran is shooting back, or even shooting their neighbors who also own oil infrastructure, you know, Iran is trying to punish the United States and Israel by not attacking the United States and Israel. They're like, oh, well, if you guys are going to attack us, then we're going to attack our neighbors and make the price of oil go up even higher on you guys and punish you economically. So Iran's trying to punish the United States and Israel economically. And the United States has already punished Iran, but we're trying to punish them too by doing a blockade. So, like, it's really not that good if they're fighting each other. It's bad for everybody and good for oil. For oil prices, for oil investors. Let's see. Dios says, can I tell you about the VWAP setting? I don't do VWAPs, Dios. I do the VRVP indicator. Are you talking about the VRVP indicator that I showed you earlier here in the live stream? This heat map looking thing? That's not the VWAP. That's the VRVP indicator. If you all go over to indicators here, it is actually one of my favorites. I'll show you here. The Visual Range Volume Profile Indicator, okay? Look for that on TradingView, okay? But when you look for it on TradingView, it's not going to be set up the same way as I do. You're going to have to go to the Meet Damien TikTok channel. Don't forget to follow me here if you haven't done so already. Then, pinned to the top of my channel, there is a VRVP indicator video, okay? This video has over 2,800 views. We're about to get 3,000 soon. One of my most popular tutorial videos there. And because the reason why it's one of the more popular videos here is because it actually works. And even the experienced traders are like, what the hell is the VRVP indicator? Because this thing is on point. It actually shows us what levels to look for. And I get both beginners and experienced traders who've been doing this for years going over to my my TikTok channel and going over to the VRVP indicator video and learning how to actually set it up. I show you how to set it up in this video here, okay?
Welcome, guys.
And then after I show you how to set it up, I then show you guys how to trade, you know, the value area high, the value area low, and the point of control, okay? So look at that video when you get a chance. It's a 14, I think it's like a 15-minute video there. So you have to look at it on your own time. But yeah, there's your tutorial video on how to do the VRVP indicator. All right, okay. Thank you, Pam, for following me here. Trino Val says, waiting for Bitcoin to hit 33K before buying in again. Wow. Okay, so you got a really bearish target there. I would start dollar cost averaging myself at 42K. That's what I picked for a level. Although I am paying attention. And yeah, we are going to 60K. I'm paying attention. Are we going to double bottom at 60K? Because 30K might not even come into play. Are we going to go down to 52K, which I showed you was the level to look for? And then bounce? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not Miss Cleo over here. But I do have the charts here, and the charts are showing me support levels below 60K, and those levels are 52K, which I already marked in the chart there, and 43K. Okay? I don't have 33K. Although I bet you if I zoom out on the daily time frame, it probably, or the weekly time frame, there probably is a high volume node somewhere around there. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I see something here at 32K, roughly. Actually, I have to zoom in a little bit more. 30,600 is the beginning of this high volume here. Going all the way down to like 26K. But you said 33K? This is a little bit of something. Very, very briefly, nothing to write home to mom about. Not as much as you would see here at like 43K. So I would try 43K, because man, if Bitcoin goes below 43 or 42K, then the Bitcoin ETF investors, the institutional guys, are also going to go underwater too. So 33K, that's going to hurt a lot of people. Probably even me, because that's when I'll start buying Bitcoin. I'll start buying Bitcoin at 43K. 42K, somewhere around there. I should just move this to 42K because it sounds a lot more fun at 42 than it does 43, right? Why don't I just make this 42? I'll make my my line here 42,690. How about that? Right? We'll have 42. We'll have 420 in there, and we'll have 690 in there too. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move my my thing here. Let me go ahead and do that. 42,690. I think I like that for a number. Yeah, 42,690. I'll fix it later so it actually says 690. But 42,695, right? We got 42 and 69 in there. I think that is your high volume node there to be paying attention to. 42,690 on Bitcoin is where I would like to start buying Bitcoin, because I'm a funny guy just like a lot of other knuckleheads out there. But they might actually be rich knuckleheads later on in the future for buying Bitcoin at 42,690. And then if Bitcoin goes up to 126K, that's a 3x right there. All you have to do is see Bitcoin go back to the all-time highs again, and you 3x your money. You triple your money. All right, how you guys doing here? We talked about Bitcoin a lot. I didn't even get a chance to do the request on Near Protocol, because I know Bitcoin and oil is on everybody's mind right now because of the war in Iran, even though there's guys out there saying, I don't know, the war in Iran has nothing to do with Bitcoin price. It's in a bear market. But yeah, we're making like bear market highs and bear market lows based off of what's going on with the news. So I still do pay attention to the news, because the news is helping us possibly make a new bear market low here on Bitcoin in the bear market. So I don't know. I have guys out here that just they like to argue. I thought I liked to argue. Apparently, there's all the people out there that like to argue more than me. Let's look at Near Protocol here before I go off on a tangent. Near Protocol is another cryptocurrency out there, currently trading at $2.79. I'm going to go ahead and try to zoom in a little bit here, see what's really going on here with Near Protocol. Near Protocol actually had a green day here. Grew up 7%, while the rest of the cryptocurrencies were in the red for the most part. So kudos to Near Protocol for actually bucking the trend here. Looks like Near Protocol is actually kind of bullish. What? Near Protocol is above its 200 to 150 of the 21 EMA. It's above all the moving averages. So that's my first at a glance. I would say that's very bullish, super bullish, extremely bullish, however we want to call it. However, on the VRVP indicator here, and this is data going all the way back to like April earlier this year, okay? This is showing that the value area high on the VRVP indicator is at 242. I would expect that to be a support level since we're above it right now. But if we come down to it, I would expect a little bit of a bounce and a fight at that level, and then maybe we can go up to higher prices after that. I do have a DeluxeAlgo signal indicator that is showing that we do have a short signal. It's trying to tell us a short Near Protocol on May 26th. And yeah, it did play out, right? And then Near Protocol bounced up. We didn't get a long signal here. So maybe we might push up to, you know, well, we actually did that today, actually. We actually pushed up to the highs here on Tuesday. We saw 297. On May 26th, and then here we saw 308 earlier today. I think that could still qualify as a double top, even though it's a slightly higher high. It is still within 1 to 3% of each other. Let's just measure. Let me just measure out here before I say something without being true. But from what, 297 we said to like 308. It's 3.6%. So if you ask Investopedia, like what is a double top, it will tell you like a double top is like the tops have to be within 1 to 3% of each other. It doesn't say 3.6%, so maybe it's not a double top, but it could be. It could be. But we're just gonna stick to the definition of a double top, and 3.6 doesn't count as 3%, so I guess it's not a double top, but it is a slightly higher high. So, I mean, I guess kind of bullish. Kinda, yeah, because you're making slightly higher highs. If you're able to then make another higher high, then yeah, you are bullish still, okay? But are we going to make a higher low? I would think if a higher low was the form, it would form at that white line. This thing move on me? I think it did, yeah. Yeah, let me see. You know what? I'm just forget about the white line or the value area high. Let's just go with this volume here. I see a high volume node here at 240. That could be where we come down to make a higher low and then move up to higher prices after that. All right. So then your question was, do we short or long near protocol? Well, I hope you already in a long, because we're near like the highest prices we've ever seen near protocol in a few months here. Your long signal was back here though on the daily time frame. It was telling you, I mean, maybe it might be time to buy the DeluxeAlgo signal indicator here, because it tried to tell you to long near protocol on March 31st. So my question to you is, where have you been? All right, why are we asking about long in near protocol when it already like jumped up like double in price the last month or two here? We should have been asking about whether we should long near protocol here. Okay. At least on the daily time frame. I don't know what you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to do just a day trade or whatever. So if you are trying to do a day trade, then we need to actually look at the smaller time frames. But I'm glad I gave you the bigger picture view here, because this thing is bullish. So trying to short it right now, not probably the best idea. Okay. But then also longing it is just showing up late to the party. Like, where have you been? Right? Where were you like a few days ago when we actually had a pullback here? Okay. Why weren't you asking me for a long here? Okay. Why are we asking if we should long it near the top? Okay. All right, let's look at momentum here before we get into smaller time frames. We're gonna look at momentum indicator, the MACD indicator. Buying pressure died down over the last few days here. Then it started picking up again earlier on this week. Okay, so I think this thing is still looking bullish on the momentum indicator, at least on the MACD indicator. So there's your one of your signals there. This thing is bullish on the daily time frame. And then also on the daily time frame, the money flow indicator, you had a green buy dot that came in yesterday. Money flow in the green. So trying to short it does not make sense right now, okay? Because this thing has momentum to actually go to higher prices. On the bigger daily time frame, it has the momentum to do it. Now let's look at the 1 hour time frame. Maybe you could do a scalp short. Okay, depending upon what momentum we got going on here. On the 1 hour time frame, it is trying to tell you to short right now. Okay, so I don't know if that's what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do a small position scalp short, it actually might make sense to do that now and then put your stop loss above the highs for today. We got as high as like 285. I'm sorry, no, we actually got higher than that. We got as high as like 308 earlier today. So you could try to short, yeah. Okay, just be wary that on the 1 hour time frame you could bounce off this 50 moving average, this green line here at 274, and then come up to this white line. Maybe this white line is where it'd be better to take a short. That white line, that 21 EMA is at 287. Okay, $2.87. That's where I think would be a better entry to short. But I don't know, tomato. Maybe you want to short right now. You could try to maybe short right now and then add to your short when we get up to that 21 EMA. And then where would you put your stop loss? Stop loss conservative, you can put out the highs for 308. Okay. That's what I would do to be conservative. So it might restrict you on the leverage here. You might not be able to do too much leverage. Because you're gonna put your stop loss in the highs for the day. You could get, you know, a little bit sly with it and maybe put your stop loss above the high of one of these 1 hour candles here. You got a high here at 295. Maybe you put the stop loss at like 297 or $3. But just, you know, you got to figure out at what point does your short become invalidated. It's definitely going to become invalidated if we make a high higher than what we did earlier today. So I think conservative stop loss at 308, 309 makes sense, because that means, hey, we're still making higher highs here. It might not be time for it to go down. But that's just looking at moving averages and candle wicks here. Let's look at the other indicators here. We're going to look at the MACD indicator on the 1 hour time frame. What's momentum doing? Selling pressure is trending downward, so it looks like it does want to go down to lower prices here. Okay. So maybe it is ready for a short on the smaller time frame. And then here on the other indicator, the money flow indicator, one of my favorite indicators for the momentum and direction here. And this money flow indicator is showing that we have a red sell dot that came in 9 o'clock on Wednesday, 9 a.m. on Wednesday. So that was earlier this morning. Earlier this morning was the time to possibly think about shorting near protocol. Momentum is coming to the downside, and it's still going down. This is the gray stuff, is your momentum. Momentum is going down and continuing down, so the trend is down. The hyperwave, which was green earlier this morning, is turning red, and it's still red, so the trend looks like we will see lower prices later on tonight. I'm not Miss Cleo. I could be wrong, but from what I'm seeing in the charts on the 1 hour time frame, it looks like it wants to go down to lower prices today. Okay? So maybe it might make sense to try a short. Okay, but I think you could try to wait for it to climb back up to the 21 EMA, right? On the 1 hour time frame. You know, I would feel better about entering a short at that white line, see if it gets rejected. Then that confirms that you can't even get above the 21 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. This thing will start rolling over after that. So I would try to short here. Maybe put the stop loss really tight if you want to at like 283 or 290. What would we say? 296 here or $3. But conservatively, the stop loss should be above the highs for the day because that is definitely invalidating your idea of shorting it. But I made this a long analysis on Near Protocol. Overall, the trend is up. So it does have momentum to go to higher prices. Just keep that in mind. So long term, I'm bullish on Near Protocol. Short term, I can see why you could try to short it. I can see why you're interested in trying to short it tonight. It might go down to lower prices going into tomorrow. All right. Let's see. I got to get back in the chat here. We got DZ in the chat. Of course, DZ wants to look at bio for like the umpteenth time here. Hey DZ, how many times do you ask for bio? Come in the live stream every day, and we always look at it every day. I feel like this has got to be like maybe have I gone live? Like, let's see. I go live Monday through Friday, so like the last 4 weeks, we probably looked at it 20 times already. But appreciate you coming in, DZ. Hopefully, bio is climbing up. I feel like bio is now becoming my life story now because we've looked at it all the time. Like I'm now becoming emotionally attached to bio, and I don't even own it. I want it to go up so that way, you know, you can feel better about your investment in it. Marcel says, Lab, thoughts on it? And then you said you're in a long collecting funding rates. Okay. For your information, you shorted copper yesterday. I'm curious. I mean, did copper go down? Are you in profit now on your short? I forgot what we even said about copper the other day. I'm curious. Did it actually go down today? Because you put like a kind of like a happy crying face, which is, how can you be happy and crying at the same? Is that tears of joy? I don't know. Copper futures. What do I want to look at copper futures on? I forgot what exchange we looked at it on last time. Was it this one, crypto? No, that's not. What the hell? No. It's definitely not crypto. What would it be considered? Forex, maybe? No, not Forex. That's foreign exchange. Futures? Yeah, no. I forgot what exchange we looked at, but it's not copper. It's not copper USD. That's for sure. Let me get rid of that ticker. The copper futures MCX, because I know there's like copper. This is copper by the kilogram. We don't want that either. We want copper by the pound. The copper 2? Oh man, I forgot what copper we were looking at. What exchange do you trade it on? FCXM. All right, this looks like the copper price here. Copper went down almost 3% today. And you said you entered a short, so you're making money. You should be in profit. Is that what you're doing here? Let's see. Copper. Crypto Cruise. Yeah, you have tears of joy. So you're happy that you entered your short on copper yesterday. Congratulations. Hopefully you are in profit and you can move your stop loss to break even if you can. Sincere82 says, evening, sir. Think Bonk trying to fill that 10-10-2025 crash at such and such price there. So is that you want me to look at Bonk? Are we gonna fill in a wick? Is what you're saying? Maybe. We'll see. Suvart says McMoran FCX. Oh yeah, that's a copper mining company. Is that a request for them? I don't know. You tell me. Hyper near? Oh my god, is that the question for today? I think Hyperliquid last time I looked at it was very bullish, but also near is also bullish too. So I think both of them are going to be winners in the short term here. Even though the rest of crypto is like having a heart attack and about to, you know, die on us here. Let's see. You've been in a short for a couple of days on it. Okay. Alright, well we do gotta look at bio because that was a request here. And then lab was a request from Marcel. So we gotta look at lab first. And then we'll look at bio. And then we'll look at Bonk. Okay. Oh, that was a suggestion. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to play copper, you can play the copper mining companies, and I know FCX is a copper mining company. That's Freeport McMoran, right? I think that's their name. I think I might have invested in them a long time ago, like a decade ago, when I was trying to play the bull run in the copper futures market at that time. All right. Let's go ahead and look at lab. Yeah, guys, before I got invested in trading in cryptocurrencies, I was and have been invested in stocks ever since I was 18 years old. And I understand the cycles, and I understand business cycles, and how usually towards the end of a business cycle, you'll see the prices of metals go up. And then they peak out, and then that's the end of the business cycle. Because, you know, copper is a business metal, right? Copper is used for making cars, building houses, and electronics. And if people are losing their jobs, they're not able to buy a house, they're not able to buy a car, they're not able to buy, you know, the latest and greatest iPhone. Well, that will cause demand for copper to go down, right? So usually when copper peaks out at its highest price, that's the end of the business cycle and the beginning of the recession. Or at least that's what I read in the book, right? But why are you listening to me? I'm just like, you know, this guy wearing this Patriot Gronkowski jersey, like he's some dumb jock. Why you guys listen to a dumb jock about, you know, cryptocurrencies and stocks here? That's my disclaimer here, guys. If you guys ever lose money, you cannot blame me. This is not financial advice. I'm just a guy wearing a Gronkowski Patriot jersey. What the hell do I know about stocks and crypto, right? I've only been in it for like 20 years, you know, with stocks, and I've only been in it since 2017 with crypto. How much could I possibly know? Not enough as a actual personal financial advisor, which I'm not, and I can't do that for you, so you shouldn't be listening to me. Don't listen to anything that I say here, guys. Alright, let's just set that disclaimer out. Because I don't want you guys to sue me, bro. In case things don't work out. Let's see. XRP as a request in MEXC. Yeah, here comes the request here. Okay, you guys are gonna keep me busy today. So MEXC and XRP. I haven't even started the analysis here on Lab. I have the chart up. Let's all right, I gotta get to work, guys. We gotta look at Lab. Lab is currently trading at $17.11 right now. It did have a Fibonacci level at 26 bucks here, which we hit 2 days ago. We actually went a little bit past that for a little extra bonus points at 27.96, and then that was it. And then Lab just, oh my god, killed the shorts, and then it also killed the longs all in one day. Yet we are still acting as if this was all one big bad dream for the longs and shorts. So maybe we shouldn't be using too much leverage, and maybe we can actually stay in our trade. But Dan, how do you stay in your trade? How do you day trade this? The longs, they got killed, and the shorts got killed. Jesus. Okay. Welcome to crypto, I guess. Here we are on Lab, right? We're still making higher lows. Granted, this was a very scary low here, but you're at higher prices than the candlewick low here. And look at this, right? Tell me TA don't work, right? Tell me TA don't work, but then why did the candlewick low go all the way down to the 21 EMA on the daily time frame? Like, why did we do a bounce? Literally, like, to the T here. I think you guys should add the 21 EMA to your chart. You'll see it works on the daily time frame, but also all the other time frames, like the 5, 10, 15-minute time frame. It does work. Okay. 21 EMA was at $6.30. Right now, the 21 EMA is at $7.33. We would have to drop down all the way to $7.33 and then lose that for us to actually probably be bearish here. Okay? Because you are clearly bullish here on Lab. You are above all the moving averages here. Are we going to stay bullish? Well, let's look at the momentum. Is the momentum still good here? Even after we had that crazy day a couple of days ago? Momentum or MACD indicator is showing that buying pressure is here and still here. So you could probably still be bullish here on Lab to see higher prices here. Wow. But now you're getting conflicting information here because you got the money flow indicator telling you to sell today. You got a red sell dot here. That's a very... Man, that's a head scratcher because the MACD indicator is saying we should go higher, but the money flow is saying no, we should be going lower. Let's see, the fast wave trend, the yellow stuff is going down, and that's the reason why you got your trigger there for your red sell dot. Momentum, the gray stuff, was going up, but then it flatlined it here. And now it looks like it is trying to go down, so that's not good. So, if I had to pick one over the other, like, if you said, Damien, you can only use the MACD indicator, or you can use the money flow indicator, I would actually use the money flow indicator. And if the money flow indicator is saying that we're going to go down, and we're getting a red sell dot today, I'm going to say that we're going to go down and see, at least a day or two of lower prices here for Labs. So, that sucks, right? You might actually see lower prices here for Lab. If you're being bullish right now, you might want to consider taking profit or moving your stop loss higher into profit because you might actually get stopped out on your long here on Lab. Funny enough though, no signals indicators here saying that we should short now on the daily time frame. I will do a little bonus round here. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame, see what it says for signals here. Telling you to short Lab. Okay, there you go. Lab needs to be shorted because the signals indicator is saying that we should sell. You get your red label here. You get your other red label here. Telling you that the money flow is telling you to short. The MFD, the money flow divergence indicator, is telling you to short. Okay. on the 1 hour time frame. So that's what I would do there. Let's see. Moving on from lab, we do have to look at bio. And then after bio, we gotta take a look at bonk, and then MX, and then XRP. We're looking at the price of bio now. Let me get into the higher time frames here, the daily time frame. Bio is at 3 cents. I did do previous chart work on this because my buddy DZ, I consider him my buddy. I never met him in real life. Maybe one day I will. But I feel like his story is now becoming my story because he asks about this every day. So I'm rooting for bio here to go higher. Okay, and it did a couple of days ago here on Tuesday. It got above all the moving averages, and I was like, all right, you got rejected off of the 200 moving average and the 50 moving average. You can't stay above it, but you're still making higher lows here. You're not going down low enough to beat out these candle wick lows here on the daily time frame here. Although today, ooh, you are getting a bearish engulfing candle right now. DZ, what the hell, DZ? I'm not gonna put this on DZ, but you are getting a bearish engulfing candle. That's not good to see. Okay, but this can change, right? Like an hour or two, we could be seeing a green hammer candle here, because this is a daily time frame, and it started. This daily candle started about an hour ago when I started this live stream. So you can still see a green candle here. I wouldn't really be all too worried about this, but I am kind of worried because it is bearish engulfing. Well, it's bearish engulfing the candle body here, but if it continues down, it could probably bearish engulf the candle wick low earlier today. So I don't know. Gotta be careful with this one, I guess. Let me get rid of this previous chart work here. I don't think we need this here. This was just hypothetical thinking here. But I was trying to tell DZ or anybody who's long and buy right now, these moving averages, you should consider selling. If you get up to like 0.36, 0.37, which is where your 200 and your 50 is at, for the moving averages, I feel like you should not get greedy. Try to de-risk a little bit. And yeah, look at that. Oh, there, it just got even bigger bearish engulfing candles just now. But I think you're just ping-ponging between the 100 moving average and the 200. Let me go ahead and get rid of the BRVP there. I don't need that. But I think you're ping-ponging between this blue line and this red line here. So if we do come down low prices, maybe you can save your butt again at 0.028 is where your 100 moving average is at. Stay above that. And then you could try to make another run for the 200 moving average again. And I just think you're just going to play ping-pong. Ping-pong. Bing, pong. Until we get some resolution here, you're gonna get bounced between the blue line and the red line, in my opinion here. So there you go, DZ. I'm not gonna do the momentum indicators because momentum should be going to the upside because, well, yeah, they get a few good days here. But whatever. I'll look at the MACD, okay, as one of the indicators, and look at that. You are seeing. Oh my god, DZ, you're seeing a green buying pressure candle here, and it's been far too long. The last time you seen a green buying pressure candle here was May 10th. All throughout May, red, red, red. Here we are going into June, red, 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 red. But the selling pressure is dying down, and now the trend is your friend to see higher prices here for the bio, okay? But I don't know, man. What is this all about? Because if this continues, then, you know, you could do a little fake out here and start seeing selling pressure start increasing again and seeing low prices. So we shall see. That's why you keep coming in every day asking me about it. We are going to see. I give you levels to look for. 0.36 and 0.28 or 0.028. All right, moving on from there. We're going to look at bond. Was the next request. And my TikTok guys, they just got a chance to see my Costa Rican Tika over here. Costa Rican Tika Christine. She's camera shy, guys, but you guys just saw her walk by the screen there. She made a great dinner for the both of us. We had some Costa Rican pansado, which is like chicken, rice, and vegetables with a little bit of sauce. I'm not even sure what the special sauce is, but I have to go read up on it because I want some more of it, to be honest. Anyways, yeah, I got her here for tonight, so she can go make some more for me later. Alright, let's see. We are now looking at the price of Bonk. It is currently trading at 486. Guys, should I ask my Costa Rican friend here if she wants to, you know, say hello to us? I don't know. We got her to say hello yesterday. You guys got to be nice enough to actually be appreciative of the fact that she's very camera shy. Because if you guys scare her away, she'll never say hi to you guys again. Hola. And there you go. Alright. Bonk. After I just got distracted by my friend there. Bonk. Currently trading at 480. Clearly bearish because you're below all the moving averages here on the daily time frame. The 200, the 50, the 100, the 21 EMA. Oh my god. And Bonk is actually at lower prices than what we saw here on February when Bitcoin dropped to 60K. It might be game over for Bonk, guys. It might be game over. How much of a game over is it going to be? Wow. According to Coinbase, Bonk has never been this low, guys. But I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It could be good if this ends up being the bear market low, but I don't think we're seeing the bear market low for Bitcoin, so I don't think we're going to see the bear market low for Bonk anytime soon here. Unless we get some positive news, and I don't know what that positive news is. Inflation's up. War is getting worse in Iran. And, I mean, you guys tell me, what is the good news with today? Besides, like, AI making some people rich. But only, like, the super rich are getting rich off of AI. And maybe some people who actually know how to use AI to, like, make their business run better and smoother. But, like, I don't know, guys. What is the good news out there as to, like, help us feel better about buying Bonk near all-time, you know, lows here on Coinbase? Is there another exchange here that I could look at that shows Bonk at prices lower than what we are right now? Maybe Binance might have more data. Yeah, Binance. No. Looks like Binance started trading Bonk here in December of 2023. Is it really that relatively new of a coin? It's only like 3 years. Well, actually, no. I take that back. I thought these were all-time lows here. What the hell is this candle here on Binance? This is looking crazy. Here on October of last year, Bonk dropped down on Binance to 401. Okay, so I'm gonna now say 401 is the gonna be the support level for Bonk, because that is the all-time low here on Binance. Wow. Funny enough, you did get a long signal about a few days ago here on my signals indicator. Doesn't mean that it's always gonna play out here, guys. Okay, usually it does. And maybe, like, you gotta give it a few more days and weeks. You might see, like, Bonk actually bottom out at 400 and then start climbing back up to higher prices here. Okay. But yeah, it was telling you to long Bonk, and that might have been too early. Okay. That's why you don't really rely on just one indicator. It does help, especially on the smaller time frames. But on the bigger daily time frame, it takes time for this signal to play out, and it could get canceled out. This signal could get canceled out if we get a short signal in the next day or two or whatever, in the next week or two. Could cancel out that long signal here. Yeah. So bonk, absolute garbage. No support until 400. You're already at 485, so God, you know, rest your soul if it's not able to go above 400. If it's not able to stay above 400, I don't know what to tell you. This thing is it's gonna go destroy a bunch of people's hopes and dreams here. That's all I'm gonna say. It might be maybe time short, right? I don't know. I wouldn't really be interested in shorting near the all-time lows either for bonk. So I would just stay away from bonk at this point. You could try to dollar cost average, maybe small positions here, because you did get a long signal 2 days ago. So I would just try to dollar cost average between now and 400. And then you just put the stop loss at 400. If you lose 400, then it probably is game over, and you're not going to see higher prices anytime soon here. All right, moving on from bonk, we do have a request here for MEXC, and then we gotta look at XRP. Some guy here says short open USDT. I don't know what I don't know what open USDT is, to be honest with you. OPN. Is that even a cryptocurrency that I can find here on the charts? It is actually. It's on Binance too. Okay. Looks like it's been around for a while too. I mean, not around. It hasn't been around for a while. It has not been around for a while. It started trading here in March earlier this year. And what do we got? Bullish divergence after dropping since you first started trading on Binance. Let me do a VRP indicator, see what we got for levels here. I'm just gonna make this short and sweet, and then I want to jump over to MEXC here. You hit the value area low here. The value area low is at 25 cents. Point of control here is at 29 cents. And value area high is this white line above at 33 cents. Those are targets to the upside still, because you're below it right now. But I'd be looking for 25, 29, and 33 to take profit on OPN if you go up to those higher prices there. And I don't think I can really do anything with the momentum indicators. Oh, okay. I actually do have something here on the MACD. MACD is showing selling pressure was here, and then buying pressure is now showing up here. So maybe you will see higher prices for OPN. And then here on the money flow indicator, you got a green buy dot telling you to buy OPN today. And momentum is going to the upside, so maybe this thing does want to go to higher prices here. So there you go. I already gave you the higher prices. I said, what, 25? Yep, 25. The blue line, 29. And the white line here at 33 cents. All right, moving on from OPN, we're going to take a look at Lab. Wait, no, not Lab, MEXC. MEXC token. MEXC token is currently trading at $1.76 right now. Guys, I gotta get through the water here real quick. Yummy. MEXC token. Is this MEXC token? Yeah, it looks like I see the MEXC symbol. Yeah, this is a MEXC token trading on a course on MEXC Exchange. This is a cryptocurrency exchange token. MEXC token is also bearish because you're below the 200, you're below the 100 moving average, the 21, and you're also below the 50 MA. However, MEXC token was trying to create some bullish divergence here. Oh, there we go. Let me just fix the camera there for you guys. MEXC token trading bullish divergence. Will it actually play out? Can we make higher lows, higher highs here? Let's look at momentum. What are we doing here with the MACD indicator? MACD indicator showing selling pressures here. MACD cross with the downside. Selling pressures here, and it's still increasing. So that's not good for higher prices here for MEXC. Nope, not for MEXC token. And then let's see. Money flow. Money flow is negative. It's been negative over the last 3 months now. You got a red sell dot that came in recently on last Wednesday. And momentum, the gray stuff, is to the downside. So I think MEXC token wants to go to lower prices here, guys. Now we gotta figure out how much lower. Let me throw on that VRVP indicator one more time here, see what high volume we got here. There's something here at $1.70. Wait, what? No, say it ain't so. Really? Just there's something here at $1.75. What? That's only a penny below where we are right now. Okay. How low did we get here in the bear market low for MEXC? We got down to like $1.72. I would actually say that's gonna be your support level for MEXC. Jesus. Damn. I thought cryptocurrency exchange tokens had some value to them because, you know, they can use money that they make from the exchange to like burn the token off and basically like buy back the coin and shrink the supply of the coin. It's like token deflation, right? No? Maybe not MEXC. MEXC has seen lower prices though back here during the bear market low of 2022. We've seen MEXC at like almost like 80 cents here. Is that going to be the target to the downside? Well, I'm just going to take this data going all the way back to 2023 and look at the VRVP indicator, and wow, like there's a lot of support here at $1.71, $1.72. Lose that, and then you could drop like a rock for sure. And there's some support here at 93 cents, and then of course 80 cents. So you could drop like a rock from $1.71 to 90 cents here on MEXC. Look out below. Don't lose $1.71. And that's it, man. That's it. I don't know. I'm not gonna give you bullish stuff here because you gotta start doing bullish stuff for me to be bullish. And I already told you, like, it looks like MEXC wants to go down based on the money flow. Momentum's down, and red sell dot here. You know, I'm a bit curious. I've been getting a lot of promotional offers from MEXC. Is MEXC about to go out of business soon? I don't know. Their cryptocurrency exchange token is getting beat to shit. They better find a way to increase the value of their coin, or else, yeah, you could lose half your money being invested in MEXC token here. All right, moving on from there. Where else can we lose half our money? Can we lose half our money here on XRP? XRP currently trading at $1.17. That's our next request here. Still using the VRVP indicator because it's a very powerful indicator. Why not? It's going to give us levels to actually look out for. There is high volume here near $1.11. That's where you bottom out here in February at $1.11. So I would expect that to be your support level to the downside here on XRP. You're below all the moving averages. We know that's very bearish, okay? Especially on the daily time frame. What's momentum doing? I bet you momentum sucks too. Momentum is showing that there's selling pressure here on XRP. It tried to die off, and then it said, nope, we actually are going to die. And the selling pressure started increasing again here on XRP. So that's not good. And then what else do we got here? Red sell dot came in here on June 1st. Momentum to the downside. Yeah. I'm curious. Is Bitcoin also still dropping like a rock on us? Bitcoin's at 62,700. Where were you guys here telling me that Bitcoin now is below 63K? Yeah, I think crypto is ready. I think Bitcoin is ready to hit 60K by the end of today, or by the end. Well, today started in London. In other parts of the world, it It is Thursday, but I think by the end of Thursday, if Bitcoin is going to continue doing what it did today, we can easily see 60K. Yeah, because we lost like 2,500 points on Bitcoin earlier today, and we're at 62,800. If we lose another 2,500 points, we're going to be at like 60,300. So we should see like things get a lot more scary later on Thursday here, guys. If Bitcoin continues doing what it did today. Now, if Bitcoin actually gets a bounce, then that's another story there. But if Bitcoin has another bad red day like we did today, you're gonna see 60K Bitcoin, and it's gonna get really scary out there, guys. And if it does get really scary out there for XRP, because Bitcoin is dropping below 60K, then I would expect XRP to drop below $1.11 here. And it might be time to get paid on the shorts if that's the case. Because is there any support for XRP? Hell no. XRP might be one of the best coins to try to short. Because on the VRVP indicator, there is no support below $1.11. You got to drop all the way down to like 63 cents here to get some support. And then you're going to get the majority of your support here at 52 cents. So, there you go. There's your scary downside target there for XRP. Is it even worth mentioning trying to be bullish here on XRP when I showed you that everything is pointing towards us going to lower prices here? Well, if you think, we're going to get a V-shaped recovery here, I would expect the moving averages above you, the 21 EMA, that's at $1.33. That's going to be your first resistance level. Then the 100 moving average and the 50 moving average, both at $1.38. That's your second resistance for XRP. And then your next resistance level above that is going to be the 200 moving average, and that's at $1.62. Yep. Short OPN USD, is that your you still want to know about OPN? Let's just look at that real quick here. And is my buddy Rich Samberry in the chat? Because I'm wearing one of his favorite teams that he is a big fan of. I'm wearing the jersey of Rob Gronkowski from the New England Patriots, and I know Rich just loves to hate the New England Patriots. So I'm a little bit curious if he's in the chat. I want to see what he has to say about my jersey today. My Costa Rican Tika, she wanted me to wear this jersey today. And I was like, this is perfect because we're having a red day in crypto, so why not wear a red jersey in support of the Bears winning today and a red day in the markets? Why not? OPN, let's get to the request here. OPN on KCEX Exchange. Were we trying to short or long it? No, it's saying you should actually long it. To answer your question, you should try to long it according to the daily time frame. Crazy enough. Even though you were, very bearish on this thing, you did get bullish divergence showing up here, and you also got a super long signal here saying that you should be long in OPN. So maybe OPN should be worth getting into a long here. Let me just show you the bullish divergence here. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows after making lower lows on the price. Higher lows on the RSI. And then you had a green buy knot that came in. And then you had the MACD going to the upside here. So I think OPN is good for a long, not a short. Alright, let me see what my YouTube guys are saying, because I think that's where Rich likes to show up here. No Rich. Interesting. Is he going to show up towards the end of the live stream and then be horrified when he sees my jersey that I'm wearing right now in support of his favorite team getting their butt whoops every time they play the Patriots? What you going to do now, Rich? You have no voice. I'm the one that's on the live stream right now. You can only listen to what I have to say, Rich. You can't actually I mean, you can try to comment, but only people that are in the live chat can see your comment. You're gonna have to actually comment. If Rich Samberry comes into this live stream and he's disgusted with what I'm wearing, he should put a comment in the YouTube YouTube video so I can see how disgusted he was. We like to joke around here in the gaming community. Marcel Humphrey says most of the cryptos are at all-time lows. Time to buy your favorite 10x on most of them in the bull run will be awesome. It might be time to start dollar cost averaging. I think you could probably wait till 52k or 42k to dollar cost average. You have to remember, after we kill the bull market, after we go through a nasty bear market, people become gun shy on crypto, and that's going to be the time to start accumulating. But it might be a little bit too early to accumulate, because you could probably get lower prices here, Marcel. So you might think it's time to buy, but it could be making new all-time lows later on this year, so why not get on those all-time lows? Once we see Bitcoin start becoming bullish again, that's when I would try to start buying the altcoins. I think you should put your focus on Bitcoin for now, and then you can always, once you see Bitcoin's actually climbing up and being bullish again, you could try to sell whatever Bitcoin you bought and then go buy some altcoins with it. Let's see. MEXC has more data than Binance. It's a shame. Used to be Solana main meme coin, is what Sincere says. Yeah, isn't it crazy how Bonk is just falling apart here? Yeah. I think Pump.fun. I'm not Pump. I think Pengu is becoming the new Solana main meme coin here. But maybe I haven't looked at Pengu. No one's told me about Pengu. No one has asked me to look at Pengu. Maybe Pengu is also at all-time lows. I haven't looked at Pengu. My focus has been on Bitcoin because that's the main focus during a bear market. Bitcoin is going to dictate the direction for the overall cryptocurrency market here. Pump Fund screwed all the meme coins when they started allowing all kinds of S coins. Okay, yep. And I might be right about Bonk is falling straight apart. Yeah, if it doesn't hold 400, it's going 401 is what I saw. If it doesn't hold the lows on Binance at 401, then there really is no support for Bonk. It's going to get decimated. Bonk is at what, 480 right now? Yeah, we looked at that earlier. And then Pengu, what's Pengu looking like? I'm curious about Pengu. Pengu at 0.006 pennies. But it's above. I mean, Pengu looks more bullish than Bonk right now because it's. I mean, it tried to make a higher low here, and we're not threatening to go lower. But like, how low has Pengu gone? Pengu does have. Like, it's bear market low. I'm sorry, not bear. It's lowest low that we could see here on Coinbase. You have to go down to like 0.0037. So Pengu could drop like half of what it is right now to finally hit the lows that it hit back here in April of last year on Coinbase. Is that the most data that we got here for Pengu? Can we get Pengu on Binance or something? Which I know probably has more data than Coinbase. Okay, yeah, definitely more data, but Pengu started trading on Binance at 0.0033 pennies. So yeah, basically half of the price of where it's at right now. You see, like, the lowest low was back here in April of last year at 0.038. 0038. You can see, like, this is where the price is at right now. But we just got to drop, another 50% here. And then we'll be right where we were at about a year ago. 14 months ago on Pengu. HDZZZ says, you sold all your crypto today? I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you were able to sell some of it at higher prices last year. If you're selling it all of it this year, why didn't you sell some of it last year? I have no idea. Okay. But selling all of it on a bad day is also not the best time to sell. Why didn't you sell some of it 2 or 3 weeks ago when Bitcoin was at 82K? Why are we waiting until Bitcoin is going to 60K before we start selling? I don't know. You tell me. I have no idea what you did. And I'm not trying to give you financial advice, but I'm just trying to figure out what your mindset is. Like, why are you waiting? Why are you selling it on like the worst day to sell? Not the best day. Why not a better day? Why not a green day? Why are you selling all your crypto on a red day when you're selling it at the lowest price you can get? You're probably thinking that it's going to go lower, and it probably will go lower, but maybe that's the reason why, because you think it's going to go lower and you're sick and fed up with it. So I get that. You just be truthful and honest, like. But after being truthful and honest, let's then be honest with ourselves. Why didn't we sell something when Bitcoin was at 80K? That was like 2 weeks ago. Let's go back to Bitcoin again. Bitcoin's at 62K now. Got as low as 62,440. We're at the lows of the lowest lows right now. But like 2 weeks ago was what? May 12th, May 11th. We saw Bitcoin at 81K. Isn't that crazy? It only took 2 weeks to like kill off everything that we did in 2 months. It's a lot easier to go down than it is to go up in any market, not just crypto. The price of oil, the price of gold, the price of, Tesla. You make a lot of money shorting in a short amount of time than you do, longing things here, okay? However, longing in a bull market, which we're not in right now in Bitcoin, but when we are in a bull market, you'll make more money longing than you will short. It just takes a while to do it. But shorting, you can make a lot of money. Look how much money the shorts made in the last 3 days here. On Bitcoin, they down 3%, and then down another 6%, and then down another 4%. Basically, in 3 days, we lost 10%. And then it probably took like maybe another week for you to lose 10%. But you lost 10% in what took 1 week and a half, and then you got the last bit of downside, 10% downside in the last 3 days. So just like you can go exponentially up, you can go exponentially down. And man, when you go exponentially down, you can make a lot of money shorting in a short amount of time. So in investment world and trading world, we say we take the stairs on the way up and then we take the elevator down. It's a lot harder to go up, and it's so much easier to just go down. And you're seeing that, right? This hurts, right? It hurts. I know some people don't want to look at this or talk about it, and those are the ones that are not going to learn their lessons, and they're probably going to do it again. But hope you guys are learning something today. That's why you came onto the Meet Damien channel here, to learn about the charts as best as you can here. I think Bitcoin is on its way to 60K by the end of Thursday. We just started Thursday in most parts of the world, so by the end of today, I guess you could say, we'll see 60K Bitcoin. If we continue doing what we did on Wednesday, where we lost 2,600 points, guess what? If you lose 2,600 points right now, you're knocking on the door of 60K. So if Bitcoin does the same thing that it did today, you're going to see 60K by the end of, by tomorrow night. By this time tomorrow night, you'll see 60K. And then it's gonna get scary after that. Are we actually gonna bounce, or are we gonna make a double bottom on Bitcoin at 60K? The bears gonna just say this was one big giant bear flag. It might have took like 3 months. What, from like February? Maybe that's like 4 months. Might have took like 4 months to do this super, grande giant bear flag here. Okay. What if this is a bear flag? Then oh my god, guys, I didn't even chart this out. But let's see if this was a bear flag. If we're gonna do the bear flag here, for you guys who love chart patterns here and doing bear flags, if this is one big giant bear flag, Well, you already got the flag part, and this is the flagpole. You just take the flagpole here, you put it over to us where we're breaking out of Bitcoin at like 73K, I think, was when we broke out of that channel, broke out of that uptrend here. Oh my God. Excuse me here, guys. The bear flag here says that we could see $35,000 Bitcoin. That blue number right there. Wow. So Bitcoin could lose half its value. And it would actually be expected because that's the bear flag target on Bitcoin. And man, if Bitcoin loses half its value, what do you think that's going to do to the altcoin, guys? It's going to send a lot of them to the grave. I'm sorry, guys. So maybe the guy who sold all his crypto right now, maybe that was a good idea. Even though it's one of the worst days to do it, it might be like not the worst day. The worst day could be, you know, later on this year sometime. I don't know, but we do got a bear flag target saying that we could see $35,000 Bitcoin. But like, let's see. Oh man, I do have targets to the downside, and I was saying like 52K and 42K is where I was expecting Bitcoin to go down to, and that's just using the VRVP indicator. I'm not going to do that again. I showed that to you a bunch of times here. You get to look at the live stream again for my YouTube guys. For my TikTok guys, I mean, you just got to keep coming on to these live streams. But man, are we going to lose 62K Bitcoin? Because I see Bitcoin threatening to do it right now. We're at 62,150. Jesus, this thing is collapsing on itself. We're like watching, like, what do you call it? Like a supernova that's turning into a black hole and just collapsing on itself. And it's gonna, we're seeing this turn into like one big giant black hole. Going into the abyss below 60K here. Use Marie says kill. And then my guy who asked about XRP and ENA, can we save ENA for tomorrow? We'll do this same time. I did a bunch of requests here. I did almost like a 2-hour live stream, and I kind of want to save it for tomorrow. Can we try to look at Athena tomorrow? I usually go live at 8 p.m. Eastern time to like 10 p.m. Eastern time, and now it's like 10 p.m. almost. And I do want to watch a movie with my friend here. So yeah, I would like to end the live stream and talk to you guys again tomorrow. We'll see if Bitcoin actually hits 60K tomorrow, because it looks like it's trying to do that right now. Maybe it might do that before it's 12 o'clock here. Right now it's 8 o'clock my time. Who knows? Maybe in the next 4 hours we'll see 60K Bitcoin. That'd be freaking crazy if it does that before I go to bed. But I think we're on our way to 60K, and it could get worse. We could also be on our way to 52K and 42K. Those are your targets to the downside there, guys. All right, that's it for this stream here, guys. I'm gonna catch up on the chat here on YouTube, and then we'll listen to some music, and then we'll be on our way out. DZ says, thanks for the bio, TA. You're welcome there, DZ. And Sincerity2 says, thank you for your time. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys watching me from basically like the beginning of the live stream to the end of the live stream. That's going to help me with my watch time hours. I do need help with my watch time hours on YouTube, because if I can get up to like 3,000 hours, and right now I'm at like 2,300 hours. Once I get to like 3,000 watch time, I can actually monetize YouTube, and that also helps me out. So by you guys watching this on YouTube, please do, because that's gonna help before I do the other ones. But we did like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 requests here on top of like Bitcoin. So yeah, you guys can skip to the line if you super chat me. I think it's a little bit unfair that my TikTok guys are actually able to gift me, but they could actually skip the line too if they send me gifts here on TikTok. So if you want to skip the line, go on TikTok and send me some money or send me some gifts, and I will do your request first. But thank you guys for doing whatever you can to help me out here on the Me Gaming community. Just watching it helps. Also liking, clicking the like button definitely helps. That's not going to cost you any money to do that. Let's not forget to do that. And then sharing and subscribing. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you can see me again. And my TikTok guys, don't forget to follow me here. On the top left screen is my profile picture with me in the pilot headset with the red shirt. I also fly airplanes too. So I like to think I know what I'm talking about because I've flown airplanes for the airlines. I'm a former airline pilot, and yeah, I think I could teach you guys how to be better on the charts, just like I taught my flight students how to actually fly airplanes. So I don't want to do too much bragging here, but you guys can always ask me more about my personal life on the Meet Damien Discord channel, which is also in the link to this video that you're watching. And for my TikTok guys, you can go follow me by once again clicking on that top left picture there, and follow me here, and I'll be able to follow you back, and we can have a conversation about anything and everything. This is the Meet Damien channel. It's not the Crypto Damien channel. We could talk about stocks. We could talk about airplanes. We could talk about being a landlord, because I am a landlord. We could talk about real estate. So I do like talking about money and finance, but we don't have to always talk about money and finance. We can actually talk about other fun things. I'm in Costa Rica. I'm waiting for you guys to ask me questions about Costa Rica, because I am in Costa Rica right now. But I will be going back to the United States the first week of July to go celebrate America's birthday. Why not? Wearing my New England Patriot jersey, red, white, and blue colors right here. Okay? But yeah, right now it's looking pretty red for crypto, and that's not good. We do want to see something else besides red here, but it's looking like it's going to be red. Yeah, guys. Anyways, let's listen to some good music on the way out. And once again, thank you guys for coming in on board to the Meet Damien channel. Let's plan on doing this same time tomorrow. Same time. I thought we had a pretty good live stream. A lot of requests, a lot of comments here. And that's to be expected because Bitcoin's doing some pretty crazy things right now on its way down to lower prices here. So, yeah, guys, let's do this again tomorrow and try to have another good live stream. Take care, guys. Yep, and I just got the notification. Oh my god, I gotta go back to the charts again here, guys. We just lost 62K here. We're at 61,800 and still bleeding and falling apart here on Bitcoin. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Anyways, let's listen to some music to make ourselves feel better, I guess. Take care, guys.